Hello, everyone. I'm Sign1News anchor Vanessa Paloma Bajarnik. Here's a quick look at the top trending international news stories in ISL making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. For nearly 2 years, Afghan women and girls living under repressive militant rule have watched their rights slowly slip away. And now they're taking another big step backwards. The Taliban have ordered beauty salons throughout the country to close within a month. The announcement shocked and saddened many Afghan women, especially those who say the money they make from owning a salon is the only way to feed their families. Bathhouses, gyms, and parks have also been closed to women since the Taliban returned to power in 2021. Last year, authorities closed most girls' high schools and barred women from universities. Many women say they don't know what more can be taken away from them before there's nothing left at all. According to a joint statement from the Australian Federal Police, the Australian Border Force, and the Philippine National Police, 16 children in the Philippines were rescued from child abuse in a historic raid at the end of June. The investigation began in January when authorities detained a 56-year-old man from Australia returning from the Philippines. Investigators found child abuse material and messages on his phone indicating he was going to pay someone who would enable him to sexually abuse children in the Philippines. The children were found when Philippines police executed multiple warrants at 4 locations in Metro Manila and a province in the country's north. Australian police say this is a record number of children rescued in a single raid. However, the investigation is still ongoing to find other children who were identified during the probe. The 16 rescued children have all been placed into the care of the country's Department of Social Welfare and Development. Ukraine and Russia have carried out another prisoner swap. The two countries say they exchanged 45 captured service members. This is video of Ukraine soldiers of war getting off a bus. Some of the soldiers fell to the ground, lying on their stomachs in the grass, happy to be on their home soil again. The soldiers were also wrapped in Ukraine flags. All of the released prisoners will receive medical and psychological assistance. According to Ukraine human rights officials, this is the 47th prisoner swap with Russia since the war began. Since February 2022, a total of 2,576 people have returned home. Latin America is taking the hardest hit of warming temperatures. A new report from the World Meteorological Organization says temperatures there have risen about 1/3 of a degree every 10 years over the past 30 years. That's the highest change since record keeping began in the 1900s. It's hitting Mexico and the Caribbean the hardest. The WMO says the sizzling temperatures have caused more tropical cyclones, like Hurricane Fiona, which caused $2.5 billion of damage in Puerto Rico last year. It is also contributing to floods and landslides caused by heavy rain and the melting of glaciers in the Andes Mountains. The tourist caught on video carving his name into the wall of Rome's Colosseum last month has sent an apology letter to the local prosecutor's office. According to his lawyer, the man's name is Ivan Dimitrov. He allegedly carved the words Ivan plus Haley 23 and was caught on video. In the apology letter, Dimitrov claimed not to know how old the 2,000-year-old building was. He wrote, "Only after what regrettably happened, I learned the antiquity of the monument. The prosecutor's office has not confirmed receipt of that letter. It comes as the tourist hopes for a plea bargain and charges that could lead to a $5,400 fine and 15 days in jail." Tens of thousands of people flocked to Spain this week for the annual Running of the Bulls festival. The 9-day celebration takes place every year in Pamplona, which is about 250 miles northeast of Madrid. In the bull running event, thousands of people race to avoid being trampled or killed by 6 bulls charging down a winding street into the city's bull ring. The bulls used in the run are later killed by professional matadors. Animal rights activists have shown up to protest the event. Some wear full-length red robes covering their bodies head to toe with bull horns attached. Others pour fake blood all over their bodies or lie on the ground like dead bodies in protest. The bull running festival dates back to the 14th century. The Women's World Cup kicks off in Australia and New Zealand in 2 weeks. One of South Korea's star players, Park Yoon-seon, is hoping to recover from an injury by game time. In 2003, she was South Korea's youngest player to ever play in a World Cup. She was just 17 years old. Now she's 36 years old and may become one of the oldest players to play in the World Cup. She is nursing an injury right now, but she's confident she will be match ready in time for the tournament. South Korea ranks 17th in the world going into the World Cup. Its first match is against Colombia on July 25th. Park says her main focus now is ensuring her country makes it to the knockout stages. Sign1News, we broadcasting international news updates in ISL every Sunday. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters who help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone, and you can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku.